Good morning, gang. Happy October 1st. Can you all believe it's October already? I know. Seems like we were just dealing with planting spring gardens and everything like that, and now we're cleaning up those and everything. But we are into October, so guess what that means? It's planting season. Yeah, really. But a little different than what you think planting season is. Now, I'm assuming by now pretty much everybody has their cold weather crops in. You're growing any brassicas, your cabbages, your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your Brussels sprouts, your lettuces, those sorts of things. You've already got those in the ground, so those are going. But what do you plant now? Well, this is the time of the year where you put your fruit trees in the ground. And, the old joke, when's the best day to plant when's the second best day to plant a fruit tree? Today. When's the best day to plant a fruit tree? 10 years ago. Okay. Well, unless y'all figured out time travel, you're planting fruit trees. Okay. And if you want to have fruit a couple of years from now, it will behoove you to get your fruit trees in the ground now. Now, Mrs. P and I have had fruit trees that we put in a couple of years ago. We had our apricot, our plum, our peach, and our pear in. And so this week we have also now planted new trees, a Red Delicious apple, a Granny Smith apple. Pretty much those are the only two kind of apples I like. But believe it or not, we actually found a sweet cherry that grows here in Zone 6B. It's called a sweetheart cherry. Everybody loves their Bing cherries and whatever it is, and I do too, okay? But growing sweet cherries is very difficult where I am, and I finally found one that is supposed to be acclimated to this growing area. I guess it's a cultivar that was created here back in the 1990s or whatever it is. So I found that, so I got one of those, and we planted that. But, so if you're looking at planting fruit trees, now is the time to plant them, this time of year, okay? October is the best month because no matter where you are, unless of course you're in Alaska, because I saw Rudy's video and it was snowing, you still have unfrozen ground in the contiguous 48 and of course Hawaii too, but and so you can get fruit trees in because you're not trying to dig through solid ice. You need to get those fruit trees in the ground now because they need their chill hours, okay? Fruit trees need your typical fruit trees. I'm not talking about your oranges and everything like that. Your citrus, obviously, no. But your deciduous fruit trees need to have their chill hours. So you want to get them in now so they will start growing next year. Now, if you go to Home Depot, Walmart, the grocery store, whatever it is, you can usually get fruit trees for $25-$30, something like that. But what you need to do, there's some important parts to it. Okay, you go into the store and you look and you go, oh hey, here's a sweet cherry tree, until you realize that sweet cherries don't grow in your area, or that particular brand of pear doesn't grow in your area. Remember, guys, okay, Walmart, Home Depot, anybody, their goal isn't for you to get fruit. Their goal is to sell trees, okay? So they'll put out there whatever they think people will buy. Oh yeah, you get a 1-year warranty on the tree. Well, the tree might grow. You're just never going to get fruit on it, okay? It kind of defeats the whole purpose unless you want the flowering plum tree because you like flowers or something. But if you want the fruit, you need to find something that's going to fruit in your zone. So make sure to look at that. Second thing you need to look at when you're buying fruit trees is whether it's a male tree, a female tree, or a self-pollinating tree. Okay, different species of different fruits may need a partner tree to cross-pollinate. Some do, some don't. I mentioned the Red Delicious and the Granny Smith that we bought. The reason we got the two different apple trees, those trees need each other to cross-pollinate. If I just planted a Red Delicious or planted a Granny Smith, I'd never get any apples. I need another apple to cross-pollinate it because that is the way those particular trees work. Now, my peach tree that I have is self-pollinating. So I can have one peach tree and it's got both male and female flowers on it, and it will self-pollinate and get peaches. Okay. And we already get peaches on the tree. Not many. We get a couple a year. The tree's still small. It's only been in the ground for a couple of years. It's probably about a 4-year-old tree now. So, those are things that you need to look at when you're planting fruit trees. Now, I will give you a trick to when you put one of your trees in. And this is something you probably have in your preps, which is good to use. You want to get what winter is for a tree, that first year. What they're trying to do is establish that root system. So you need to give it every chance it can to get a good root system. So obviously you're going to dig your hole bigger, twice the size of the pot or whatever it is, I'll follow all the instructions. Throw a can of sardines in the bottom. I know everybody goes, why would I do that? And a lot of you guys probably know this, throw a fish or something like that in the bottom of a hole. It will do very good for your tree. Sardines are great. Go to the dollar store, get a can of sardines, throw it in the bottom. And no, I don't have problems with animals trying to dig it up or whatever it is. It's a foot down in the ground and no big deal. Even the dogs, they might smell it, but they're not going to go dig it up. But that will give the tree a good boost of fertilizer that is, I don't want to say slow release, but a medium type release fertilizer. As that's rotting into the ground, those roots are going, cool, look at all this we can get. So, those are things you can do. This is the time to plant your fruit trees. And, it's not going to be something where next year you're going to go, woohoo, I bought a 6-foot tree and I've got, 400 pounds of apples next year. No, you're not, okay? You might get a few, all right? But, like I said at the beginning here, best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. So, you got to start sometime. Get it in now, because a couple of years from now, you're going to start getting some good fruit. So that was that one. The other thing you want to do, and this is what else Mrs. P and I have been doing this week, is if you want to plant grapes or anything like that, you need to start building that structure now. Now, we spent our day today, building a grape arbor, the hoop type arbor. Pretty simple to do here. T-posts and a 16-foot cattle panel. Okay, we measured it out. Took 2 of us to do this. Don't get me wrong. It's not a one-person job. But put this up. It's 8 feet high, so I can walk under it. And, we'll get a good size, just one cattle panel. I'm not looking at starting an orchard, but we will get a good amount of grapes on that. We're going to try to grow Thompson white seedless grapes on there. But we've got to get the trellis going now, because you're going to be planting grapes here, depending on what zone you are, over the winter, because again, they need their chill hours. Now, one of the other arbors that we're going to build, which is on my project to start this weekend, is one of those arbors that, boy, it's kind of hard to do this. It looks straight to me. Okay, it's straight up like this, and then there's a angle. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it to you. So it kind of looks, I'd call it like a baseball dugout. But I'm going to build one of those, about 24 feet long. Okay, a couple of 4x4s, a couple of 2x4s, and some lathing strips or some wire in between of it, and poof, you're done. And there I want to plant purple muscadine. So we have those. I'm going to do this about 24 feet of that. Again, not starting an orchard or anything, but it's food, okay? I can eat grapes. I can make grape juice. If I want, I can make wine out of the grapes. I can make wine out of the muscadines. I can make just juice out of it. Again, it's something that is going to be not only food, okay, but vitamins that you need. And if you're down south, you know that muscadines have very good medicinal purposes, including being a cancer fighter. Okay. So, those are things to start looking at. Everybody goes, "Oh, gee, it's the end of fall. My gardening season's done." No, sorry. Between getting your gardens ready for next year, getting your trees in the ground, getting any structure that you need to get built now, because you need to get those structures built now that you're going to do it. Because as soon as that ground is ready to get plants in, you want to be getting your plants in. You don't want to be going, okay, it's the last frost you had. Hey, I need to build my raised bed, or hey, I need to build my trellises, or whatever. No, that's when you need to be putting cucumbers in the ground, or that's when you need to put grapevines in the ground, or whatever it would be. This is the time to build the structure. Again, we're preppers. We do things when we're supposed to, and ahead of time, and we plan. We aren't doing it, oh my God, I've got to get everything done now, because I guarantee you, if you try to go build your structures in the spring, by the time you're getting anything in the garden, you've just lost a year of everything going. So get out this weekend, find yourself a couple of fruit trees. It's food. You're going to need it. Have a great Friday. Pinball out.